Hello, potato chips. How are you? Wee Paddy from across the shock, and another wee video for you. And this is another showy off video. I'm afraid it's of a new knife that I just got yesterday, and it's just there. It's just there. This is a 2010 model. So this is, I've only got one more blade that's older. That's my big orange one, and it's 2009. And bearing in mind, for those of you who don't know, this is a GEC. This is the Northfield. So this is their posher end. All GEC comes in tubes, but this is an old one back from 2010. They have changed a bit since then, but very much all the same thing. And you get what it is. This is Burnt Stag. This is the number 61, which is the first two letters, and 04, which is the Wharncliffe blades, which are the main blade, and 10 is 2010. And this one is very special because this one is number 45 out of 50. So there's only 50 of this one in the world. And I just find that's the thrill of finding a knife like this here. Now, I got this of one of my chums on my Facebook group. He kindly let go of it. I happened to be at the right time in the right place and got it. So this is the way they used to come. And that name, Christine Tucker, who has just recently retired, used to sign her name to everything that came out of Great Eastern. So it's a Northfield unexcelled, which is to say is the higher end. There's the pattern number there. The handle material is Burnt Stag, and the date, its birth date, is May the 21st, 2010, and it's number 45 of 50. So that's lovely to have that coming with it. But there's just nothing as lovely as that knife. Is that not just beautiful? The stag on it is beautiful. And on the blade etching here. Now, bearing in mind, this is from 2010. This has never been used, this knife. Never been used. And it's just been kept oiled and not polished, because even after that amount of years, 11, 12 years, that would come off. If you were to polish that with flits or case paste, whatever, it would take this off. It would wear it down. But it is just never, it's just been looked after. On the other side, really well matched piece of stag. I just think is lovely. And this is from somebody who, not that long ago, a three-bladed knife was sort of out of the question. I didn't really fancy three-blade knives or multi-bladed knives. Two I could sort of get away with. But I don't know what it is. Over this I've had the opportunity to buy knives that I wouldn't normally have had the choice. And I suppose this is the collector in me. I want a bit of everything. So, I do collect the three-bladed knives now, and this is my first four-bladed. Now, I'll not be going higher than four blades. So I'm saying this is 2001. 2021. Let's just see what happens in the future if I eat my words. But I just think the fit and finish of this is absolutely beautiful. Two lovely pen blades and two lovely Wharncliffes. To me, this is just a natural Whittling knife. It gives you so much blade, so many blade. This is the Congress, and it's again the number 61 pattern. There was a 62 that came out, was it last year or the year before, which just had two blades, the Wharncliffe and the pen blade. And obviously it was called the half Congress or whatever it was called. But look at that there. Look how well them blades are centered. Now, there's a little bit of rubbing on the blades, but it's not because the blades are off. The rubbing occurs when you push, when you're lifting this up and you push it up against the other blade, and you get a bit of rubbing on the back. To me, that is perfectly acceptable in a knife like this with four blades. I could take the big one first and then do that, but I won't, so there's no point saying I will. The three rings on the bolsters are beautiful. Look at that fit and finish. You've got four blades coming off two springs, which keeps the lightness of the knife down. It's by no means a light knife, but, it's not. Look, it's a two-bladed pen knife. It's never going to be that heavy. But I just think the way them blades are fitted in there is just stunning. Really, really stunning. And all done by hand, bent by hand. Some of the blades have to be bent in. It's just an absolute masterpiece. And I could understand why they don't do them that often. There's a lot of work goes into these knives. And I love that shield with the Northfield across it. I'm not even sure, because it's bowed, I'm not even sure what this is called. Not sure what the shield is called. Somebody can tell me down below. I'm sure it's burnt stag. I take it is stag and not stag bone, which is different where they make bone look like stag. But this actually looks like stag that has been burnt. And I just am absolutely enamored. Wharncliffe is one of my favourite blades anyway. And as a working blade, now, yes, it's great for whittling, but as a working blade, it is a great blade for box opening, for anything at all where you want to use a point. But you can also use this if you are whittling, for shaving wood, for doing all those tasks that whittling does. And you've got two of each. So it gives you so much more time on the job before you have to sharpen again. And to whittle, if you've ever whittled, you have to keep the blade stropped and stropped and stropped, because if you don't, the the whittling you'll do will just be inferior to a really sharp blade. You need them razor sharp to do whittling, and keeping them razor sharp, stropping regularly during your task, and that makes it so much easier to cut. There's half stops on the main blade and on the pen blades. So, I mean, there's everything thrown into this knife. I just love the etching that's still on there from 2010. Isn't that just beautiful? Let me just get that. It's not very... There we go. Beautiful etching. And to be on the blade after this amount of time, listen to that. That is just gorgeous. The walk and talk in this knife is beautiful. It really is beautiful. Now, I'll give you a size on it. The size is about 3 3/4. That's just an average size. I'll get the pen, and I'll show you the sizes of the two blades. There we go. The Wharncliffe blade is 2 1/4, 2 inches cutting. So it's not a big blade, but for your whittling, you don't need a big blade. You can use another single blade to take big chunks off if you have to whittle, a fair size down. And 1 3/4 with a 1.5 inch cutting edge. So look, let's put that all together. 3.5 and 3.5. You have 7 inches worth of whittling blades just there. Do you know what I mean? And that's something we forget to count when you're doing that. You've got 4 blades for whittling. But look how lovely, because they're shorter blades, you can get right up and it's not uncomfortable. You don't have a big handle here or a big piece of blade to stick into you. And vice versa on the other side as well. You've got that beautiful grip, which is not going to affect, you're not going to get cramped fingers because you're holding on in bad positions. It is just a stunning knife. I am over the moon with it. Listen to that. That is just spectacular. Spectacular. I'm just... I keep thinking I can't get more enamored with GEC. And the truth is, they just, it just keeps coming up with different varieties and different handle materials, blade materials. I mean, this is one that a knife that I didn't think I would get. I've never been a lover of this material, the tortoiseshell. It's faux tortoiseshell now. But you want to know, the longer I've had it, the more I actually thought about trading it the other day, and I've gone off the idea again now. But that's me. That's my collection. I will often trade at the drop of a hat for something else. And it's just a chase. That's all it is. It's just a chase. Now, what are these like in comparing to, say, a British Barlow? It's just something I can give you a size comparison. This is a beautiful Tailor's Eyewitness Barlow in the burl. It is just a beautiful knife. Lovely big Barlow. And I just want to set you that down. So that's a typical British Barlow size, which is, there we go, 3.5 inches. So it's just 1/4 inch shorter than this. And it is about exactly equal with that. So these knives that, there's not much difference in their sizes, but yet their functions are completely. This is a proper working knife. I mean, this has got the big, beautiful clip point, and this has just that delicate little Warncliffe. Oh, let me just see that through the camera. So you can see that they're different working areas. This is a big working knife. It has a Warncliffe, a sheep's foot there, and a spay blade for different uses. So, I mean, this is, to me, it's the joy of collecting traditional knives. They're usually made for a purpose, and they were invented. The blade shapes were invented for the jobs at the time, because obviously pen knives were just improving as the materials got better. These are all 1095. In fact, I think this is 01 tool steel, but I'm not 100% sure. But the two GECs are 1095, which is a marvellous steel, easily stroppable. I'm going to turn these round because I want you to see that Northfield. I just think the way they have it done is beautiful. This knife is another stunner, but for a different reason, as is this one. Just beautiful knives. I hope you enjoy seeing these. I know it is a bit showy-offy. They're expensive knives, without a doubt. But do you want to know something? Oh, my pleasure in having them is only enhanced by sharing them with you. If I didn't have these to share with you, I wouldn't have a YouTube channel, and I wouldn't get the pleasure in collecting for that simple fact that I can share my hobby with all you madmen out there. Take care, everybody. Paddy's away for a cup of tea. I hope you enjoyed the look of it. Take care now. Bye-bye.